In today's video, we are covering a hot topic and one that has been highly requested here on my channel and likewise on Instagram. We're talking all about multivitamins, whether or not you should be taking them, and if you should be buying them at the grocery store. Hi there, if you're new here, my name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life, whether that's cooking or cleaning or finding efficient ways to take care of our families, but everything we do in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. Likewise, I studied nutritional science. So I am so excited to dig into today's video with you. And if you like today's video, it would mean a lot to me if you give it a big thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button right down below. Walk into any grocery store and you cannot miss the rapidly growing aisle of supplements. So I have my computer here with me today. We're going to be going through the nitty-gritty and all of the details, and to be honest with you, I'm going to see how long this video is, as I may need to turn it into a 2, even 3-part series, because I promised you guys on Instagram that I would go through the labels and compare them. So I am really excited to dig in. With so many people experiencing mineral and nutritional deficiencies, feeling tired and stressed out, the supplement industry has quickly turned into a multi-billion-dollar machine. Studies show that 50% of Americans take multivitamins, and 1 in 5 US adults take an herbal supplement, which sounds great, right? However, I care so much about what we put in and on our bodies, but when it comes to vitamins, we still rely on blind faith too often to companies that make their own process and formulations and intentionally keep things confusing so that customers, to be honest with you, don't really know what's going on. So how do you know what supplements to take, and how do you know which brands to trust? Are you really getting what it says on the bottle? And the curtains on the supplement industry have been pulled back many times now, and what's on the other side can be extremely frightening. So the unfortunate truth about most of the supplements that you may find on the grocery store and drugstore shelves is that they are not required to undergo any testing through the FDA for safety and efficacy, as prescription drugs, for example. In fact, the FDA only tests 1% of every 65,000 dietary supplements that are on the market. And while the FDA doesn't classify them as dietary supplements or nutraceuticals in the drug legality and definitions, the biological ones that are making it to shelves sometimes do not prove any efficacy by the time they reach your home. And at the end of the day, herbs and supplements are very powerful and have real biological effects on our body. So what that means is that many of these products are loaded with fillers and synthetic ingredients with little to no active ingredients, so that the supplement companies can save on cost. Many manufacturers are also cutting costs by putting in the inactive parts of specific herbs and botanicals, which don't offer the same healing effects as the herb itself. So you could see this would be extremely problematic and a very specific way to trick consumers. So a supplement may say that it contains saw palmetto, for example, but it doesn't contain the part of the plant that actually has the healing benefits, even though you are paying for that nutrient. Another key issue with buying supplements off grocery store shelves is that most larger companies don't have strict shipping and handling regulations. So before they even get to the store, they may have been exposed to heat, which can dramatically affect their quality. In addition, many supplement companies have replaced their expiration dates with manufacturing dates. So there is no way for consumers to tell if the supplements they are taking are still good. This is why I am so passionate about sharing this information with you guys today, because I really want to blow the lid on this entire industry, because there's a lot of corruption and backhandling that's happening behind the scenes, and you guys are paying so much money for these products, whether it be at Target or Costco or CVS, and at the end of the day, you might be getting little to no nutritional benefits, and even worse, synthetic fillers. An even uglier truth is that many supplement companies are putting prescription drugs in their products. In 2004, the FDA instilled a ban on any dietary supplement containing ephedra because of the serious side effects and even death. However, many products that have been pulled from the shelves because they do contain unauthorized prescription medications often find themselves back on the store shelves with the same ingredients in new packaging. On the consumer side, and I see this all the time in my nutrition practice, people are under the impression that they can lead an unhealthy lifestyle, eating nutritionally poor food, not exercising, drinking excess alcohol and caffeine, and they just pop a few pills and it will cancel out the negative side effects. I always say you cannot supplement your way to a healthy diet. This is a huge myth, and unfortunately, one that the supplement industry definitely advocates and advertises for. This quick fix belief, along with the desire to look and feel our best, has too many people taking too many vitamins and minerals that they may not even need, and to be honest with you, don't react well in the body together. In high doses, many of these can cause serious side effects and even diseases. Numerous studies have linked specific problems like heart attacks and even increased lipid levels to improper uses of safe dietary supplements such as vitamin A, D, E, K, and even calcium. Now, with that being said, if you follow me and my platform, you know there are times when supplements are incredibly beneficial, but it is best to follow the following tips before buying anything. And first and foremost is to eat a healthy diet. Most people can get a substantial amount of vitamins and minerals from a well-balanced diet. If you want to get the best anti-aging products, then look at loading up on colorful fruits and vegetables, as well as leafy greens. You've heard me talk about that so many times, especially in all of my skin videos that I will link for you up in the card. Check those out where I go through all the details, how to eat many foods that help you look and feel your best. Next, another thing I frequently talk about is improve your digestion. If your digestion is compromised, you most likely aren't going to be able to absorb the nutrients you're getting from your food, and definitely not the ones you're getting from a supplement. A few simple tips to improve your gut are to get regular exercise and on average 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, practice daily mindfulness, meditation, or prayer, eat a diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, healthy fats, and lots of lean proteins. Additionally, cook with spices and herbs. Sip on warm water or tea throughout the day. I love herbal teas. They're fantastic for healing your gut. In addition, keep track of the foods you know are causing you discomfort and reduce or eliminate them for some time. And then you can slowly reintroduce them. Not sure with what you may be sensitive to? I highly recommend you to consult with a skilled physician or a certified nutritionist or dietitian that can help you determine what those potentially could be. Next, with that, work with a trained physician or practitioner. Before loading up on any unnecessary pills or powders, go see a trained physician or nutritional practitioner that can help you understand the appropriate testing to see if you actually have these deficiencies. Many of the times, the symptoms you're experiencing, such as low energy, sleep issues, low libido, and weight gain, may not be dietary issues at all. For example, in my practice, I look at all aspects of your life to find out what's really causing the symptoms that you're experiencing. If supplements are recommended, we have high quality ones that have been extensively tested and researched. If a product seems too good to be true, then it probably is. Remember that there is very, very little regulation in the supplement industry. So do your research and be sure to always ask questions and consult with your healthcare team. So now what I'm going to do is pull up on my computer a couple very popular supplements amongst my community of young moms that are in their late 20s to early 40s, what they're taking and what they're giving their kids. And I'm going to go through the ingredient list. Then what I'm going to do, of course, is do a side-by-side comparison with the supplements that I recommend to those in my practice and the ones that I use here in my home. So we're gonna roll up our sleeves, go through these ingredients. So grab a tea or grab a coffee because we're gonna get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna put on the screen here somewhere in this space the nutrition label as I go through it here on my computer so we can really dig in and be researchers. But we're gonna start off with the Smarty Pants vitamins. Okay, so I'm going to get started with something that will not shock any of you who follow me, but there are 5 grams of sugar in the needed 4 gummies in Smarty Pants. That is over a teaspoon of sugar in their gummies alone. Like, if our kids are starting off the day with a standard American diet, eating cereal or store-bought waffles or I can't even think, like pastries or muffins or something from the store, and then they're getting 5 grams of sugar in their vitamins, we have a problem. So that is my first qualm that I have right here with Smarty Pants vitamins. Okay, so now we already know they're taking 4 gummies, and then they're having over a teaspoon of sugar. Any dentists here that follow me, I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback on that, because dentists, from my experience, which we have a wonderful holistic dentist, they're not huge fans of gummies for kids, not to mention one that has over a teaspoon of sugar. Next, I'm going to move on to the other ingredients. I'm starting with the other ingredients, is that they do have the tapioca syrup, which they do need to do that with the gelatin to make it bind together. So because it is a gummy, and I'm starting with gummies because of kids, because it is a gummy, they do need to have these things. So they have gelatin, they have tapioca syrup, which it is organic, so I will give them that. Likewise, it was organic cane sugar, 5 grams of it. But then we move on to natural flavorings. So I'm not a huge fan of natural flavorings. I've been pretty clear about that here on my channel. And the fact that we have to put these into their multivitamins is just like such a scam to me, because if our kids are going to be getting natural flavorings at schools or in snacks, and the fact that we're giving them a nutritional supplement that's supposed to help them, make them stronger and healthier and really fill in those gaps, but we're relying on one with over a teaspoon of sugar and natural flavorings, then we have a problem. So this is just in the other ingredient section alone. And I will say I picked Smarty Pants because they're the best of the bunch that you can buy at the drugstore. If you're looking for the Kirkland brand or the Flintstone vitamins, which I grew up in the 80s, so that was all we ever took. If you're looking at those ingredients, I didn't even want to bring it up because it pales in comparison to what I'm going to recommend to you guys. So I wanted to give us like a fair shot to have a dialogue and have a conversation, and using any of those would just be like a smoke show. So I did choose Smarty Pants because they do use organic ingredients. However, we are using natural flavorings, which that stinks because that's an unnecessary ingredient that doesn't need to be in there. But they're doing that to make it taste better so that your kids can choke down the 4 sugar-laden gummies. Flavors, the sugar. Can we pick one at least? Then we have to go on to the colors, right? Because they have to be colorful, they have to be red, they have to be purple, they have to be orange, all the things. And they add organic black carrot, I thought it was currant black carrot, juice concentrate, and organic turmeric. So at least they're not using like red dye number 40. We would be in big trouble. And I'm sure if I were to look at Flintstones or Kirkland's or any of those, they would be using food coloring. And if you haven't had a chance to check out any research on food coloring, I will put some links in the description box down below. It is pretty frightening. So now moving on to underneath the other ingredients, we have omega-3 fish oil, of course, right? Very important, from sustainable fisheries, small fish only. So they're not using wild caught, which if you're gonna use fish oil, it has to be wild caught. So I understand that they're sustainable and there's sustainable small fisheries. However, the fact that they're not even getting the proper omega-3s in this ingredient. So if I were to have to give my kids this on top of it, I would still need to give another omega, which is of course more money. So if you think that you're checking the omega boxes by giving them this Smarty Pants, unfortunately, that's just simply not the case. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the actual nutritional profile of the Smarty Pants vitamins. And I will say about 10 to 15% of it is pretty good. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, for example, the B1 that they're using, the B6 that they're using, the biotin that they're using, and the choline that they're using, and the vitamin D that they're using are all synthetic. So what that means is the likelihood that your children will be able to ingest this into their gut, which we talked about gut nutrition earlier in this video, and the importance of converting nutrients into something we can absorb and assimilate is very important. So if your kids don't have a very strong gut, which before the age of 7, it's still highly permeable and developing. So kids under the age of 7 don't have extremely strong gut flora. So taking into account, let's say you have a 5.5-year-old like I do, and they're taking these ingredients and they're trying to assimilate and absorb the vitamin B1 that is synthetic. So they are unable to convert that into anything that is necessary. Vitamin B1 is exceptional for concentration and for mood, especially if your kids are in school right now or virtual learning and you want them to sit down and to focus. B1 is a critical nutrient for that. Unfortunately, they are not getting that out of these Smarty Pants vitamins. So these vitamin companies are using synthetic ingredients that are extremely difficult to convert. And I want you to be conscious of what you're taking. One, because it's frightening to think of all these synthetic ingredients that we're ingesting and we're putting on our skin through our bath products, our makeup products, our lotions, all of the things in our environment, and not to mention what we're eating and ingesting. So it is important, if we think we're doing something healthy and that's nutritionally rich for our diet, that we're on the right track. And not to mention the cost. So what is the cost for one of these bottles? Let's look into that. So for 120 gummies, but you need to take 4 of them a day, it's $15 right now. It's on sale for $15. I'm on Amazon. I've seen it at Target for like $27. So I guess it must just depend on how many are in the actual. I guess I just must have looked at some that have more in the actual product. But for 120, so that's a 30-day supply for one child, it would be $15, regularly $20. So for that price, for $20 a month, you have 1, 2, multiple kids, you could do so much better for your children in terms of actually getting in nutrient-dense, food-based, non-synthetic vitamins. Many of you who have followed along for years, and I even made a YouTube video, don't go back and watch it because it's extremely embarrassing. I made it 5 years ago. I made it talking about Mary Ruth's in the winter of 2016. So I started taking Mary Ruth's at the end of 2014, like right at the beginning of 2015, which she actually established her company in 2014. So I have had long experience with this product and I have recommended it to everybody and anybody that will listen. So if you want more in-depth details on this product specifically, I will link that video. Please don't judge. I made it a very long time ago, but I go into the nitty-gritty of Mary Ruth's. But we are going to cover that today because looking at the Smarty Pants and then looking at Mary Ruth's, so for $20, or you can buy Mary Ruth's for $29, I will have a link for you in the description box down below that you can use. You can order through my link, and then you can get access to this amazing product. They have it on Amazon. I've even seen certain lines of her product now at Target. Here's the thing with Mary Ruth's, is it is all food-based. So everything in here is a food-based nutrient that your body can easily absorb and assimilate. Then the next highlight of Mary Ruth's that I do have to point out to you is there is 0 sugar. So unlike the 1.1 teaspoons that you're getting in Smarty Pants, 1.1 teaspoons. I want you to fill up a teaspoon, just over like a heaping teaspoon of sugar right now, and think about pouring that into your kid's mouth before they walk out the door to go to school, thinking that that's healthy. That's what's happening with the Smarty Pants. And I don't mean to like beat a dead horse. I'm just really trying to like lock that in because that's so unnecessary and there's so many better options out there. So no added sugar right here, and it tastes delicious. Everybody who I recommend this product to says that they feel enhanced mental focus, enhanced energy, they feel great. Their skin is glowing. And of course, in conjunction with their daytime formula, they have an amazing nighttime mineral. These two together are really the dream team. You do this and you do an omega, maybe a little bit of a probiotic, and your kids are pretty much set. Of course, there's going to be times of the year where we need to focus on other nutrients. We really need to bolster up their immune system, or we need to focus on cleansing. There are always times throughout the year where we focus and we rotate through different supplement protocols. However, at the end of the day, between these two, a great omega and a probiotic, you are pretty much set. And the best part about Mary Ruth's, it's great for the whole family. This is what my husband and I take, and this is what both of my children take. So you're not having to get the Smarty Pants Kids, the Smarty Pants Chewable for your husband who doesn't like to swallow pills, and then you're getting different pills, or you're getting gummies because you have a hard time stomaching vitamins as well. All of that is handled through these two. And I know that now this does sound like a commercial for Mary Ruth's, but I promise you it's not. I just wanted to give you a better alternative. So let's look into the label and investigate. But I will put here on the screen the product label so that you can go through it with me, a side-by-side comparison of how the Smarty Pants label looks compared to the Mary Ruths. You guys, it's not even a question. The nutrient diversity that you get in Mary Ruths compared to Smarty Pants is a no-brainer. It is a complete no-brainer. And that's not even getting into the critical aspect of synthetic ingredients versus food-based. So the first and foremost thing that I want to point out is that B12 is extremely important for us as a society. We are all most likely vitamin D and B12 deficient. And the fact that they use methylated, and they do use methylated B12 in the Smarty Pants as well. However, the form of folate that they use in the Smarty Pants, unfortunately, it is a methylated, but it is a synthetic methylation compared to the folate that they use in Mary Ruth's. Is not a synthetic methylation. It's from the calcium folinate, which is easily absorbed through the gut lining. So when you combine those two ingredients, the folate that you have in here and the B12 is that perfect synergy and perfect pair to really get that energy to your kids. It especially helps with their brain development and mood. The next one that I wanted to call out was the biotin. So as I had mentioned earlier, that the biotin in the Smarty Pants is a synthetic compared to the biotin in the Mary Ruths. And then nextly, as I said, it pairs in comparison, and that is because of the other ingredients in Mary Ruths. You're getting all of your contrast minerals. I've shown minerals so many times here on my channel. I add them into my kids' kombucha. I add them into their smoothies, into their water. You always see me using minerals. Mary Ruth's has it in here for them. Additionally, it does have a full amino acid complex. You're getting all of your vitamins and all of your minerals, and now not to mention your amino acids in your Mary Ruth's daytime. And then not to mention, if you do take the evening time, of course, this is really like the big dog of all of your minerals, and you will sleep like a rock, your children as well, and they taste delicious. But so what I'm saying to you is if you invest in this product, which is only like a $10 more, but great for the whole family, if you invest in this product versus the Smarty Pants, is that you're more apt to absorb and you're getting a more diverse profile of vitamins and minerals. Okay, and because like I said, this isn't a commercial for Mary Ruth's. If for some reason that's not the product that you want to order, or you have a hard time getting it into your or your children's diet, we have other options. So this is Oxalin. I have shared this so many times here on my channel, but this is their 5-in-1 multivitamin formula. And you pour it into your water, it bubbles up, it tastes absolutely delicious. We like to mix this with a Waterloo, so a sparkling water, and a little bit of ice, and my kids call it party drinks. So they have a children's formula, they have an adult formula, they have a sport formula, they have so many of them. I will link them for you in the description box down below. Now, where this differs compared to Smarty Pants is that every single mineral in here is a chelated mineral. So the importance of that is the high bioavailability with chelated minerals. Not to mention that they're effective and safe. As we talked about earlier in this video, the safety of these nutrients that aren't being tested can be really frightening. When you use chelated minerals, it is predictable to your body, so your body knows what to do with them. So that makes them extremely safe and absorbable. Then, of course, all of the ingredients in here are methylated, which is really important because that's one less step of conversion that your body has to take in order to absorb your vitamins and nutrients. And of course, Oxalin goes the extra mile to get you to absorb those. So I just wanted to share with you guys today a little bit of the history and background on the supplement industry and why we need to be conscious consumers and not just take whatever looks good, whatever has pretty packaging. There's a lot of those at Nordstrom's and Sephora, and they are very, very expensive. It is important that we become detectives, that we turn over the labels, and that we look for some of these synthetic call-outs. And if you're unsure, it's always best to take a picture and take it to somebody on your healthcare team. I highly encourage you guys to really stack the deck in your favor and get an incredible healthcare team that's got your back. That way you're not wasting money and you're able to take things that really elevate your health and take you to the next level. So if you have any questions, I'm excited to continue this conversation. I would be happy to make follow-up videos on any supplements that you're interested and curious about. I can definitely dig in and be a bit of a detective and let you know what my professional thoughts and feedback are. But other than that, I would start with some of the highly recommended supplements I have linked for you in the description box down below. Let me know your questions in the comment section, and I want to thank you so much for watching. And again, if you like this type of content, you can give it a big big thumbs up. It means a whole lot to me and the YouTube algorithm. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.